All right. Good morning and welcome to day 5 of boot camp. You guys have made it to the end of the week. It's Friday, and I am so excited for it to be Friday. And my daughter's basketball tournament is not at 8 o'clock in the morning like it's been every weekend since. Our first game is at 11. So I'm in a really great mood today, and I hope that you guys are too. And today we are going to look at everything that we haven't looked at yet. So we're going to take a look at a little deeper dive into tasks, referrals. We'll check out the reports center. We will check out the listings button, which doesn't have a whole lot fancy right now, but we will coming up. And then we are going to look at the settings of Command and your marketplace. So like I said at the beginning of the week, Command is a very large system, and it is a large system intentionally because it is replacing multiple systems that agents have traditionally had to use from third-party vendors. And I can tell you from experience, having things not talking to each other was a huge pain because you had to like download a spreadsheet with the contacts and then upload them over into this system and double, triple, quadruple entry into different systems. And I was not a huge fan of that. So it does make me happy that Command has all of this in one place. But just as a reminder, it doesn't mean that you have to use everything that Command has to offer. The only thing you have to do in here is your opportunities. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are not ready to take on doing Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff already yet, that's okay, right? That's okay. I do boot camp every single month. I have lots of people. Sean was in here. What day was that? Tuesday. Sean's been with the company for years now, and he still comes to boot camp because he wants refreshers, and he and his wife Allison like to refresh their knowledge base, right? And that is why I do it repeatedly. Also because we get really cool updates, which makes me excited. We got one of those today, and I want to make sure that I show that to you. It happened yesterday, but it was after we were in class together. So that being said, the first thing we're going to do is look at task. So that is the third applet on the left. Please keep in mind, if you have any questions, please shout them out. Put them in the chat, unmute yourself. This is your time to learn, to grow, to have me at your disposal to ask me whatever you want to ask me. And today we don't have as much content, so there's plenty of time for you to ask questions. So please feel free to do so. Let task open up. And I did find out they were working on something in designs yesterday, which is why we were being a little bit laggy. So for those of you that were only seeing 7 pages of that 22-ish page magazine, if you would let me know that, once we turn off today's recording, I want to take a look and make sure that you're all fixed up. So we're coming into tasks. And one thing I want to draw your attention to in tasks is that I'm going to stop sharing my phone over here because I feel like it's making me laggy. Bear with me. Yeah, as soon as I stop doing it, it loaded. Okay. So one thing I want to draw your attention to in tasks is currently task for opportunities and task for your contacts or just your general tasks are separated. Eventually, all of this is going to get brought together and we will be able to filter out through our task. But for right now, it defaults into contact tasks. Okay, so also if you see on your home screen, your tasks on your home screen are defaulting to contact tasks. You can see that right here in the corner. And you can drop down and switch to opportunity tasks. Or if you recently joined KW, you may have seen your onboarding task defaulting to the front of the screen. Those are just showing you things that you can do in the system to kind of get you integrated. So since you've been in boot camp, you might have already done all of those. Feel free to check those off and get them out of your way and go ahead and put yourself back on contact task. So I just wanted to make sure that I made that known to you guys, that's how it defaults for now, but eventually they will all be together. So opportunity tasks are the ones that were set by those checklists that we looked at in opportunities. And you have to give them a due date, remember, in order for them to show up as a task for you to use. You can see Monica's not been doing very good at her tasks. No judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that you can bulk complete tasks. So you see I'm looking at 50 of them, and I hit the checkbox up here to select all of them. I can, in the lower right corner, mark all of those as complete. I can change the priority level, whether it's medium, high, or low, or I can archive these tasks. So I'm just going to say that I did them. These were phone call tasks. So it's asking, did I get answers or not? Did I leave a voicemail? Did we talk? Okay. So this would be good if you were making a call maybe for, I don't know, inviting people to a client event. If you talked to 10 people and everyone answered, then you could say we talked, and you could confirm that everybody had a conversation with you and was in fact invited to your event, right? So you can bulk mark as complete, which I really, really like. And I can just complete all of those tasks. I could also bulk archive. So if I had set these tasks and I was like, I never did any of these, I'm going to have to reset. I could just archive all of these tasks like this. And now I'm back to no task due. Okay. Now I'm going to come over to opportunity tasks. So you'll see these are the ones that were generated from my checklist items. Maybe if it's going to go over there. It's thinking about it. And I wanted to show you tasks on my phone, but apparently sharing my phone screen with you guys is contributing to the slowness of my internet woes of the moment. Let me try to click on this again. Y'all please hold. If you get disconnected, just come in, back in. I'm going to unplug this. Let me see if that'll fix the issue. Okay, there we go. My Google Nest is apparently having an issue today. You're viewing all of your opportunity tasks is what you're going to get. So this is what tasks used to look like, the whole system, right? Looks a little bit different than what we see in our contact tasks, which are so pretty. They have the past, due today, due tomorrow, due next week, due later. They have all of these different color tags. All of our tasks used to look like this. And this is where opportunity tasks still are, but they will get brought over into task in general. So you can see these are the things off of those checklists that I shared with you guys on Tuesday, right? So placing a sign at the house, photographs complete, scheduling an ice cream truck for my open house, updating my opportunity phase and checking for septic permits, right? These are things that were related to a transaction. So any question about the difference between the two for now? Nothing in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about task creation. I'm going to come up here in the upper right and click create new tasks. Okay, so I can give it a name, right? So maybe I need to call Mary. I can give it a description. Call Mary to check in on whatever it is, right? I can give it a priority level. I can give it a due date. Maybe I need to do that today at 1 p.m. Okay. I can even add a hyperlink down here if I have a reason that I need to, maybe an email address or something like that. So if you were just creating a simple task, you could do this. If it wasn't associated to a person at all, like schedule your social media marketing for May, that wasn't associated to a person. That was just a general task, right? Since this is associated to a person, at the top, I can associate contacts, and I can look for the person that I need to attach to this task. Vice versa, you could associate multiple people. So if you were having a client event, or if you wanted to invite 10 of your friends to your open house this weekend because you think the house is beautiful and you want them to see it, then you could associate multiple contacts to this task. Since this is a phone call, I want to mark this as a call task. Okay. And then I'm going to create this task. And so now, since it does have this call button, I can click the call button from my app, and I can call that person directly from the app. And if you have some kind of a call feature on your computer, whether you use Skype, whatever it is that you use, you will be able to do that from your computer as well. So you can see when I click on this task to open it, I've got my task info over here on the left. I have my contact info because I do have a contact associated over here on the right. And if I click on, that's a fake phone number, but if I clicked on that phone number, I do in fact have Skype on my phone, on my computer. So I would be able to call that phone number from my computer, right? Or you can call it from your cell phone if you're in the app. Make sense? Everybody good? So I used to actually pay for Todoist. If you don't know what Todoist is, it is a task app that taught me everything I needed to do. Something that somebody said to me that really resonated with me was that when you're a kid, like my kids are, you're at school during the day, right? And during the day, what do you have? You have bells that tell you what to do, when to do it, how much time you have to get there. So you have a late bell, which means your butt better be in your seat in the classroom. Then you have a bell that says that your class is over, and you know there's another bell coming in 3 minutes. That means you better be into your next class. So they have this structure, right? And then what happens when you get to college? There's no bell. It's real easy to not go because there's nothing forcing you to go. And it's the same thing in real estate because it's not a job, right? It's not a traditional job where you have to be at your seat at 8 a.m. and then you have to have this done by lunch. Real estate doesn't work that way. So in order to keep ourselves accountable, I definitely need it. I have to time block. I have to set tasks for myself that say, you have to do these things by this time, right? For you guys, your main thing that you need to be doing right now is lead generating. And it's really easy after you get some deals going to let that lead generation schedule drop because you're like, I got to do this paperwork. I got to get this inspection done. I got to do this. I got to do this, right? You can't let go of lead generation. So if you take one thing away from this week, besides how to do your opportunities, because I want you to get paid, take away time blocking, right? It's really, really important. I don't care how you lead generate. I don't care if you make calls through a Mojo dialer. I don't care if you go door knocking. I don't care if you hold 2 open houses a weekend every weekend. If you go to networking events in the evening, it doesn't matter how you lead generate. The best form of lead generation is the one that you're going to do and that you're going to do at a high level. So if you take nothing else away from this, take away that you have to do it all the time. Just because you get deals doesn't mean you get to stop. Okay. So use tasks or don't. I find them super helpful because I need something to give me structure. Because if not, I could just hang out here in my chair and watch TikTok and hang out with my dog. I wouldn't get very much done that way, would I? So do what you need to do, but tasks is here for you. Any questions on tasks? You do have a filter. You can look and sort through past due, due today, priority levels, all that kind of fun stuff. You could even only show your call task only. So if you are in fact lead generating with phone calls, you could just pull those up and only look at those. Cool deal? Nothing in the chat, nobody raising their hand. Awesome. All right, referrals. You're a part of the biggest referral network in the world. Congratulations. There's about 180,000 of us. So just because you live in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, or Chapel Hill, or the surrounding areas around there, that does not mean that that's the only place that you get to do business, right? I have a huge family over in San Antonio, a huge family, right? Because I'm half Hispanic. So out there, my Lopez family is huge. We have a huge family. So lots of them have to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. One of my cousins, in fact, moved from San Antonio to Arizona. So guess what I have done? I have connected with people that work in those areas, because if one of my cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever, I'm talking to them and they're like, yeah, we're thinking about buying a house, I want to have someone in place where they are that can assist them, because then I get a check in the mail just for making the connection. Now, I personally like to stay in touch with that agent throughout the transaction, but I like getting a 25% referral check in the mail, you guys. That's a good feeling, right? So don't discount where you're from. Maybe you went to college in Chicago, and you have friends that stayed there. Connect with those people too. Don't just connect with the people that are around you right now. I had an agent that moved here from California a few years ago, and he was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody here, so how am I ever going to get business? I said, well, are you calling the people that you know in California? Well, why would I do that? I don't live there. I don't have a license there. Because you can get referrals. That's why. And he started doing a really good referral business, right? Diversify your income streams. This is a great way to do that. So here in the referral system, the first thing that you should start doing is growing your network. So on the home screen, you can see a referrals overview, pending invites. Invites does not mean they are sending you a referral. It means that they want to connect with you for the potential to send you a referral. You have pending referrals that you sent out, referrals that you have received, and referrals that you have sent. You can search. You have your referral network. I have 90 people in my referral network right now, right? I can scroll through all of them. I can view all at the bottom. Okay. So that's what's hanging out on your dashboard. Then we can move forward into my referrals. So these are referrals that you have sent in and out, active referrals. Those I was under pending, funded, lost, expired, rejected, and all. Okay. I'm going to go to your network here at the end. So the first thing that you need to be doing is growing your network. So wherever you know people that is not where you're selling, you're going to come over here and click Grow My Network. It's going to take you to a map, or you can click on the map at the top. Okay. So just because I know, or somebody in the chat, who's from somewhere else or knows a bunch of people somewhere else, because I always use San Antonio. I want to look at somewhere different. Somebody dropped me something, a place to look at. Charlotte. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to search the map for Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. Charlotte is now in the center of my screen. All those green dots on my screen are real estate transactions. Okay. If you look over on the right-hand side of my screen, I am currently looking at 1,128 agents, which is too many agents to display. So I need to zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay. And as I begin to zoom into the map, remember, we like to be hyper local, right? So where in Charlotte is your friend wanting to move, or your cousin, or whoever it is, right? Charlotte's big. My brother lives in Huntersville, so I look at that quite a bit, but I think he has some friends that live in Dilworth. So I'm going to put Dilworth in the center of my screen here. Okay. I'm going to start zooming in. It's going to change my view over here on the right. Okay. Currently, I am sorted at random. I can change this random sort to first name and last name, A to Z or Z to A. Number of closed units. Let's see who the top producer is in this map view. Trent Corbin of the Redbud Group. What if I change it to listing sold? Ooh, still Trent. Stacy Sauls, she's really good. Buy sides, Trent still got the top. And even leases, now it changed to Matthew Hagler. Okay, but what if, I'm going to put it back on closed units. What if I zoom in even tighter into Dilworth? What happens? Trent staying on top. I'm going to keep going. We can get really hyper local with this. Ooh, Trent. Some of the second place people are changing, but Trent's staying on top. So you can see I can start scrolling around on here, and you'll see who's on the right-hand side start to change. Even Trent's keeping the top, y'all. Trent's just doing it that way. But now look, Stacy Sauls became second over here. So this is really zooming in on who is being active in these areas. Okay, so I can zoom back out. In order to do a broadcast referral, you have to have 50 or less agents. So right now that button's grayed out. But if I need to send a referral for this area, now I'm at 42 people that work in this area. I can do this broadcast referral. So if I'm looking for speed to lead type agent that's, you know, Johnny on the spot, I can broadcast this referral out to all 42 of those agents, and whoever gets back to me first is the one that I'm going to give it to. Or my personal preferred method, we're independent contractors, you can do what you want. I like to actually click on these people and learn more about them. So Trent is on a team called the Redbud Group. He's the Rainmaker. 2,229 units. Whoa. Let me click on Trent's name. It's going to open Trent's KW Connect profile. Okay, so I'm going to be able to read Trent's biography. He's been with KW for 7 years. These are his service areas. This is how to get in touch with him, right? 2,295 units closed because he has a really big team, right? So let's check out Stacy. Okay, 346 closed units, 192 on listings, 154 on buyers. Biography from Stacy, contact information, right? So I can look at all of that. And then I can click this little plus people button if I just want to connect with Stacy. Maybe I'm not sending her a referral today, but I have 30 people that I know in Charlotte, and once I have somebody that needs something, I want to have someone to connect with them. There are agents in our company that do over 50% of their business solely off agent referrals. Over 50% of their business solely off agent referrals. They go to Mega Camp, they go to Family Reunion, they go to Mega Agent Mastermind, right? When I was in Orlando, I saw hundreds of people that I've talked to on Zoom, but I'd never gotten to meet them in person. It's all about networking, right? So make sure that you're reaching out. And just like I told you guys, when you come into a class, whether it's with me, because I'm in 3 market centers, but they're kind of all here in North Carolina. If you go into a national class, put your stuff in the chat. Put your name, put your phone number, put your specialties, what you do. Hey, it's Mary from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I've been in the business for this many years. I love working with luxury clients, whatever that may be, right? Drop it in the chat, because somebody may be looking to connect with somebody and go, ooh, I actually have somebody that's moving to Winston-Salem. I need to call Mary, right? So make sure that you're doing that. It's a gold mine sitting there waiting for you to take it. But you can, I'm already connected to Trent. You can see here. So I could just send Trent a referral. I can't connect with them because we were already connected, but I could connect with Stacy, right? The other cool thing you can do, we're looking at this view. This just came out. 2 of these things just came out. You could only look for people that are military. So if you have a military background and you want to work with someone else that's in military, make sure you add military to your profile where I showed you in settings, because we can now filter by agents that are of military affiliation. Okay, so make sure you're checking that out. And our newest filter that got added that was very highly requested is languages spoken. So for me, a lot of my family in Texas just speaks English. I mean, we're from Texas, essentially. And I have a handful that do speak Spanish, right? So I might need somebody who speaks Spanish. It's always fun for me to go to Texas because people try to speak to me in Spanish and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. I can ask for a beer. That's about as far as I go. But you can come down and select people that speak Spanish in this map view and apply that filter. Ooh, only one, right? So if you're looking for a Spanish speaking agent in this map view, Molly is your person. So really great. And we're going to continue to get more and more filters. Okay. I'm going to show you something else cool that you can do with the map. We talked about Facebook ads at the end of yesterday's class. And the one that we did really quickly was just in a 15-mile radius around your specific listing. Okay. However, a lot of people run Facebook ads in other states because people up north like to move down south because it's warmer, right? So it's cool to see trends of where people are coming here from and moving from here to. So if you're looking at the map, I'm just going to reset myself back to my original map view. Maybe. Just thinking about it. Got to get Charlotte out of there. Spinning wheel goes round and round. All right. We can come into the map and click right here. We can look for market centers in a specific map view. We can look for people in our network that are in the specific map view. Oh, Diego, he's so nice. And we can look at referral patterns, which I love. So boom, this is a map of where people are moving from Winston-Salem to. Right? 5% are moving to Kernersville and Asheville and Raleigh, Mooresville, Cornelius, Charlotte, then Chapel Hill, then Hilton Head. I was just down that way. Greenville, Wilmington, right? You get to see where people are moving to and vice versa. Where are people moving here from? 6% of people that moved to Winston-Salem from Charlotte, only in Keller Williams, right? These are Keller Williams sales. Moved here from Charlotte, 5% from Austin, 5% from Mooresville. So if my brother lives in Charlotte, so I'm a little bit familiar with the prices there, and they're higher than ours. So if I run an ad for my $700,000 listing that's got 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and a swimming pool and this and that and the other, I might want to run that ad in Charlotte because that person's probably going to be like, heck yeah, look at that house. I couldn't get a house like that for $700,000 here in this area, right? So check out those patterns and you can use those to determine where you might want to market. Cool. Final disclaimer for referrals. Just because you're sending referrals through this does not mean that you don't have to use your referral agreement. Your referral agreement is a legal binding document that requires that agent to pay you. You signed it, they signed it, right? If you don't get that referral agreement signed and the referral that you sent doesn't pay you, your broker in charge has no fight for you if you don't have that piece of paper. So just because you're sending it through here, it's cool. You can track it, you can chat with them, they can drop you an update and say, hey, we got pre-approved for a loan. Hey, we went and looked at 5 properties today and we're making an offer. That's great, right? And you have a track of it, and you still have to do your referral agreement. So please don't forget to do that. Even if you're using this or not, get your referral agreement signed. Okay, any questions before we come out of referrals? Go ahead, Mary.
When I first was going through Command, I came across a string of emails and it looked like agents talking to each other, but I cannot find it now. It looked like agents saying what they need. Like it was one of these, when you had the Dropbox and you put in your needs, but where would those emails be found?
Were you maybe here?
Yes, yeah, maybe that was it. Yeah, where is this? Just in Connect.
KW Connect. Okay. Right now, KW Connect and KW Command, we're still kind of straddling the old technology with the new technology. So eventually everything is going to be built into Command. And right now, Connect is one of those pieces that's kind of straddling the line. So we actually have kwconnect.com, which is our learning platform. Right. So in kwconnect.com, you can learn stuff. You can go into the white pages and look up like background data on Keller Williams agents. You can get to your reports. You can get to all kinds of stuff from here. So you'll see like reports, white pages, all of this stuff, the calendar, the training, resources, technology, communities, and growth. But we also have a Connect tab here in Command. So as this continues to get built out, this is going to end up being like an internal Facebook for Keller Williams. And so this is probably what you were in.
Okay, and so if somebody was looking for an agent in Winston-Salem, how would I get that information? How would I know that somebody's looking for an agent?
They would
reach out to me personally.
Reaching out to you personally, or doing a broadcast referral. If they do a broadcast referral, you're going to get an email notification and a Command notification up here.
Okay, because I'm on that link that they chose. I mean, I'm one of the people they chose.
Correct. And you'll get a notification here in your phone.
Okay.
But in the Command app. So make sure, guys, that your Command app, depending on, I know I'm an Android user and everybody's like, why do you like Android? Because I love them. You can set specific sounds on, at least on my phone, for different apps. So on my phone, I know 100% without a doubt when I get a Command notification that it is a Command notification, because a lot of times it's paperwork getting returned or a referral coming in or an agent asking me for help on something. So I want to make sure that I know that that's what it is. So make sure that you're paying attention to your Command notifications. Okay. But yeah, look through here, because not a lot of people come in here right yet, because it's not been like broadcast that it exists. So a lot of people don't come in here yet. So definitely come in here and check it out. Go ahead, Jamie, with your question.
Are we supposed to have the third tab, the Command Market Center, or is that just for you? No,
it's just leadership. It's just
okay, perfect.
It's the boring stuff. You don't want to be in that.
Okay.
But the Connect tab is going to get a lot of stuff. Like this Learning Center is not live for you guys yet, but once it is, holy cow, I can't show it to you, but I can't show it to you yet. But when I can, I'm super excited to show it to you. But you'll see that forthcoming. But you guys probably can already see like these groups. So get in there and look around, because not a lot of people come in there yet. Good. Awesome. Okay. So referrals is really cool. Check it out. And y'all go on KW Connect and like listen to the classes. Like if you're at home and you're not working that day, or maybe you are working, but you're just kind of like piddling and organizing your office or something, go to KW Connect, because when you get here, I mean, I love for y'all to come to my classes, but I go to these classes, right? There's a market update this afternoon with Jim Talbot at 1 p.m. Right? So you can go in there. It's just a live stream. You can go in there and listen to what these are like top producing agents in the whole country that are sharing how they got where they are with you for free. Right? Learn from other people's mistakes and challenges. They tell us everything. Like, I was completely floored. I came from a very different company when I joined KW, and I was like, what have I walked into? This place is like nothing I've ever seen. The culture, the friendliness, the willingness to share, all of these tools, all of this education. If you haven't started listening to James Shaw, this man right here, shame. Go and find James Shaw every morning. Facebook, every weekday morning, and it gets recorded. Pivot, shift, ahead. It's a Facebook group. Okay. So during COVID, once we all got sent home, instead of curling up into a ball, which is what a lot of us wanted to do, James was like, nope, I'm going to launch this Facebook group. And at first there were like 40 of us on a phone call on Zoom on a Zoom call every morning, listening to what James had to say. Look how many people are in here now. Over 100,000 agents have joined this Facebook group. And he did not limit it to Keller Williams, which really truly shows you our culture. He is just sharing his knowledge with anybody who wants to hear it. It's unprecedented. It's amazing. He goes live on Zoom every morning, right? Look at all the comments. Like, it's crazy. So get in there and listen. Like, take advantage of your stuff. If you start taking advantage of everything that you have in front of you, you are already light years ahead of the rest of the real estate industry. Period. Right? I told you guys to schedule out your social media ahead of time. KW Connect, monthly social media calendar. Yes, we are working with them because we said, wouldn't it be great if all these articles that said 31 prompts to help your media flourish had quick posts, right? So there's 31 prompts for May. I told you guys to take some time this weekend, schedule some stuff out. 31 prompts for May that take your social media to new heights. May 1st, Mental Health Awareness Month. There's graphics for you and designs. May 2nd, update your audience on a goal that you made. May 3rd, I don't even know how to say that, but there is a holiday graphic for it. Eid al-Fitr, I don't know. Looking to drum up some leads, update people who hope to scope out the neighborhood with a local expert graphic, right? Cinco de Mayo. It's giving you content. Does that mean you have to post something every single day? No. And look at it all. It's all laid out for you. Right? I wish. Now, I don't wish, because I never wish backwards, but because I'm very happy where I am right now. But had I had all of these tools, I might still be selling real estate right now. Right? I didn't know about leverage. I didn't know that as a single mom, I could have built a team to help me take care of my clients at the level that I needed to take care of my clients while still doing all the things I needed to do for my children and take care of my dad, which is when I left selling real estate in 2014. Had I had a team in place, I could have done all of it, but I didn't know to do that stuff. I didn't have all of these resources to tell me. So take advantage of the stuff that's in front of you. Trust me, it is worth your time. Okay. Questions? Sorry, I went off there on a tangent. I'm not allowed to go into KW Connect. It will completely take me off another path. Good? Okay, cool. So referrals, we did it. Reports. Before we go to reports, I'm going to go to listings because listings is super simple for now. And mine might look a smidge different than yours. So if it does, I'm sorry. But here, the cool thing is that you can search. You can search by areas. You can search in other states. You can look at properties everywhere. We have been asked as labs advisors, what do we want this to become, right? They asked us to look at our current MLS. What do we love about it? What do we hate about it? What do we want to see in the listings applet in Command? So they have listened to that feedback for several months now, and they are working on upgrading this to be something really amazing. Like, I'm super stoked about it because I like the functionality of Triad MLS or Matrix, because they don't just service Triad, but it's so antiquated looking, and it's 2022. And I want something that looks a lot nicer aesthetically and has more features and functionality. So they are working to build it out. But you can see when I'm under search, like I can see all the stuff that's around me. I can search. Right now it's searching geolocation. You see that right here. I can look at a list. I can look at the expanded view. I can look at the gallery view. I can look at the map view, which is where it defaults. I can search by property address. Let me see what happens if I had 10606 Waycross Drive, Huntersville. I think I have that address wrong. Oh, I think I need to do it down here because it's not a listing. Not searching for a listing. I want to pinpoint 10606 Waycross Drive, Huntersville. Look at that. There's my brother's neighborhood right there. I'm not in that MLS, right? But I can search for where his house is, and I can look at all the houses that are there. And I can look and see that everything that got listed is already pending. But there we go, right? So you can look all over. We're not bound by MLS in here, which I love. Questions on listings? Pretty simple right now. You can go in there and poke around, see what's there. Just know it's going to get really, really great. Cool. Reports. I'm going to start reports by saying, if you're in productivity coaching, you're on a team and you have an activity tracker if you want it. So talk to your productivity coach. And if you're not on a team and you're an individual agent, you now also have the option for the activity tracker, which I love, because again, I need to hold myself accountable in order to be able to get anything done in this non-structured business, right? It's only got structure if you give it to it. So the activity tracker is really cool. And this is one of the places that you will be able to access what you have turned in to yourself or to your team. And I'm going to show you where to set that up when we get into settings after we look at this. So I just want to draw your attention to the activity tracker. But on the dashboard, you can see your database overview after it loads. Oh Lord, are they working on something here again today? They've really been working a lot on reports. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. It's my daughter. Okay, so They must be working on something in here today because I am in my individual agent side. Normally this shows your total number of records, which mine is like 1,496 or something to that effect. Most of which are contacts. In other words, we are connected, and about 50 of which are leads, meaning I have not connected with them. They're just all fake. But it's great to get to see that overview and then your database health score. Let me see if it's working on the home screen. Everything's being really slow. Be close some of this other stuff. Okay. No, it's working up here. So database health score, they must just be working in reports. Shows you how many phone numbers do you have? What percentage of emails do you have? How many addresses do you have? How many neighborhoods do you have, right? You can dive deeper in reports when they're not working in there into what that looks like. And you can see the sources. Remember, I told you to put your sources in where you got the contact, whether it was like an open house, your sphere of influence, or you could set a person as the source. So my sources seem like they're working over here on the right-hand side, so you can see where to better spend your time. But if you don't tell the system where you found them, then you don't get to have that resource there. There it comes back. Okay, good. We're there. So 1,422, 1,370 are contacts and 52 are leads. I've got my database health score here. Again, I can compare myself to agents in my market center, my state, all agents, agents in the production bracket above mine, and agents in the top production bracket. I like to gamify my business. I can also see a database activity score. So if you have a big red line like that, you're in the wrong business. Call your people, right? So we're supposed to be talking to people in our database every 90 days minimum on the phone, right? 36 touch. Where's my 36 touches a year to the people that we know? So I showed you guys the monthly neighborhood nurture. That takes care of 12. What about the birthday smart plan? I think that has 3 or 4 touches in it. That takes you to 16. If you sold them a house before, you have that anniversary plan. That's got about 2 or 3 touches in it. Quarterly call plan. You're getting up into the 20s now, right? So you have to be compiling all these ways that you can reach out to people. The holiday email plan takes care of 25 touches for you. Granted, I don't like emails as touches that much, but they're still good, right? They're still good. So, you know, that's a lot. So set up some systems for yourself because you got to talk to your people. I promise you they will forget that you sell houses if you don't tell them, or not tell them in a salesy way, but if you don't have conversations with them with that Ford method, which organically will bring up occupation, and you guys will start talking about it. So you can track all that stuff here in your dashboard. You can also go into your report section. Opportunities reports. I have 49 total opportunities. 35 of them are new. Mine are all fake, so they don't have a lot of, you know, numbers in them. But if you guys are making real opportunities, you're going to see that potential income, that probable income. How much commission would you make off of it? How much time are they spending in each one of these phases in opportunities? If you see a whole lot going under contract and not as much closing, maybe you need to take the class Bulletproofing the Transaction to brush up on those negotiation skills when it comes to repairs or something like that, right? So it gives you a deeper insight into your business. You also have a buyer opportunity overview with the same thing. Top is the listing. That's the opportunities report. You have a goals report. If you enter your goals in Command, then you get to see this report. So if you have a profit goal of $50,000 net, a cost of sales of $23,000, operating expenses, you need to make $75,000 in gross commission income in order to hit your $50,000 goal. Nobody taught me how to do that stuff back in the day. Nobody. I was like, ooh, check. And then I go spend it all. And then I have to do my taxes the next year and go, ooh, probably wasn't a great thing for me to do. Right? Lesson learned. Learn that lesson sooner. Okay. Track your numbers. Everybody good with this little area? I'm going to move forward into goals. If you haven't taken the time, I don't have the activity tab. Jamie, it's probably because you have to set up activities, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a sec. Goals, right? If you haven't come in here and set up your goals, you're going to click this blue teal button in the upper right corner, boop, and set your goals up. It's going to walk you through a wizard. You're going to click Get Started. I've already set up my goals, but I'm going to show you how you would do that. So MREA says you should be about 60% listing, 40% buyer based. Okay. So my goal is $50,000 annual profit. That's your monthly profit goal. And in order to get there, because I have a high cost of sales and operating expenses, I need to make a lot of money to hit that number, right? That net number, what I'm putting in my pocket. Okay, so you can pick this year, what's your amount, what percentage of your gross commission income goes to your annual operating expenses. It's about 30-ish usually. That's a little high, but it's better to gauge that stuff high than low, because you would rather have more money in your pocket at the end of the year than what you thought, instead of the opposite, right? Or you can give it a fixed amount. So if I know that my market center cap is 21,000 or whatever it is, I think that's right. And I know, and it tells you what are expenses. Expenses are made whether or not a transaction takes place. Example, salaries, lead generation, marketing expenses, education, occupancy. In other words, you're paying for a desk or an office, automobile expenses, etc. It's suggested that that remains below 30%. So I don't have super high marketing costs or super high expenses that I have to pay all the time. So I'm going to throw $5,000 in there. Cost of sales are expenses that are made only when a transaction takes place. Examples, split, the money that you pay to the market center, transaction coordinator fees, ISAs, market center brokerage, as well as referral fees to other agents, right? So we vary on market center caps, right? They vary because each office is independently owned and operated. So I'm just going to put $21,000 in there as a general number. I don't know what your market center's cap is, but I'm going to put $21,000 in there as my cost of sales. I do all my own paperwork, so I don't have to pay a transaction coordinator. Okay. So now I know in order to make $50,000, that's before taxes, by the way, that I have to gross $76,000. Okay. And that's if I cap, right? If I cap. Okay. Business makeup. This defaults to 60-40 because that's kind of what's suggested. And then the average commission per unit. I actually haven't found out that number for Chapel Hill. But I think in Winston-Salem and Greensboro market centers, you're safe around that $7,000 mark. That's the average commission spread across the office, right? Because you're going to sell a house that costs $80,000 and you're going to sell one that costs $450,000. That's just an average number. As your business grows, you'll be able to see what your average commission is, but just put a general number in there. Maybe put it at 6,000 if it's just that prices went up so much. I adjusted up. Then you'll click next. Potentially. There we go. So here are those conversion rates, again, taken from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And we talked about this, right? If you're cultivating somebody, you have about a 5% chance of getting that to close. Okay. If you set an appointment, that goes up. If you keep the appointment, if you get an agreement signed, if you go under contract, and then once you close, you're at 100% opportunity to make money. So those are defaulted. If you go and find out, if I get into the kitchen with this person, there's a 90% chance I'm making money. Then good for tracking your business. But just use the defaults at first. So then you get to see your goal conversion rate, your gross commission income breakdown, and you can click what's next and you're done. Okay, you're done with goal setting. So you can adjust those throughout the year. You're not just stuck, right? But again, when we were adding opportunities, I showed you guys that column of dates that said, you know, it's blank unless you fill it in, right? I set my appointment. I had my appointment. This was the date I had my appointment. This was the date I got the agreement signed. This was the date we went under contract. If you're not adding those dates to your opportunities, these numbers can't happen. Okay. So if you want to track your numbers, you have to put the data in. Cool. All right. Good deal. So down here, you get to see your activities breakdown, how many emails, smart plans, Twilio, neighborhood searches, notes, and other things that you're doing with the contacts in your database, your goal conversion rates, and that gross commission income breakdown. We already looked at activity. Lead routing is only for teams, so I'm not even going to go there with you guys on this call. If anybody is on a team, builds a team, and then has a question about lead routing, please come to me and I'll be happy to answer that question for you. Emails. So I told you guys there are two ways to send out emails, one through smart plans, two through campaigns, right? We looked at those. Well, three, because also in opportunities, you have the ability to send those updates on what's happening with that client's transaction. And I also told you about the ability to do the multiple offer situation and then send that as an email. That constitutes the other email column right here. So campaigns are purple, smart plans are orange, other is blue. You can see by my little graph here that I prefer the smart plan method of emailing. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the campaign's way of emailing. I just prefer smart plans. And I can look at the details of each one and show, okay, these are what were delivered. These are what were kicked back. This is what blah, 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 blah. Here's who's opening stuff. Here's who's clicking stuff. And here's who unsubscribed, right? And then down here, I've had 0 people mark me as spam. And you want to make sure that not a lot of people mark you as spam because you're going to get your, so don't email people that don't want to be emailed, in other words, right? Don't just randomly find a bunch of people. If somebody clicks on something that you posted, email them. If somebody that you know says, yes, I want to get a monthly neighborhood email from you that tells me what's happening when, if my neighbor's house is selling and that stuff's happening, send those people emails. If you just blanket send out emails to random people, they're going to start marking you as spam and it's going to make your email go into spam. You don't want that. Okay. It's hard to undo once it's done. So start off by emailing people that want to be emailed and it will grow from there. Text and calls. This is Twilio, that place where you can use the mass texting. And it shows you how many credits you've used, how many credits you have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It gives you the option to upgrade your plan or downgrade your plan, both of which you can do at any point in time. Good. That takes us to the end of reports. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and look at settings. I'm going to show you the marketplace and we're going to be done. We'll end early today unless you guys just have a bunch of questions. So I will see you all back in 5 minutes. And we're back. So the next thing I want to show you guys is your settings. I'm going to show you how, if you want to set up the activity tracker for yourself, either as an individual agent or if you're on a team, including PC coaching, you need to talk to your team leader or your productivity coach about setting up activity tracking because they have to do it at the team level if you're not an independent agent. So if you are on a team, you will see your team. When you drop down in the upper right corner, you would see a personal account, and you would see your team account. So I want to make sure to draw your attention to that. And again, best practice with your contacts, if you're on a team, is to add them to your personal account, and then you can move them over to the team account and maintain ownership. So if you ever decided to leave that team, if you're in productivity coaching and you're going to graduate from productivity coaching, it is a lot easier to get your contacts back and less time consuming. You can always get your contacts back. It's just a lot easier to do it if you do it that way. So I just wanted to make that reminder before we move forward. Okay. So now that I dropped this down, I'm going to move into settings. The first thing we're going to look at is the activity tracker. I'm in my personal account. If you're on a team, you have to talk to your rainmaker or your productivity coach. So now that I'm here, I'm going to come over to the left. This screen we've already looked at. This is where all your connections are made. If you have your Google, whether you're using your Keller Williams account, which is a Google account, or you have your own personal Google, if you have it connected when you're emailing with your contacts, it will track it in their contact card. So that's what those connections do. We're going to come over and expand command settings. Command settings on the left. We're going to click on reporting, and that is where you can get to activity tracking for yourself as an individual agent. Okay. Keep yourself accountable and your data accurate by setting up your email reminders. When do you want your first email reminder to come? When do you want your activity to be submitted by? How many reminders do you want to get if you haven't submitted your activity for the day? And what are your work days? If you say all 7 days, I'm going to come and find you. Give yourself a day off, at least one, please, please, please. You need it for your mental health. Okay. Give yourself at least one day off. But since you are agents, right, your week might look different than mine. Maybe you work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you only take Saturday off. Your schedule is up to you. And just remember, you teach people how to treat you. If you answer your client's phone call at 11 o'clock at night, guess what that client thinks? I can call them at 11 o'clock at night and it's okay, right? So you teach people how to treat you. Just remember that, because I was notoriously bad at it, right? If you're going to set up yourself as a business, go ahead and set your parameters for yourself. If you're not going to answer the phone after 9 o'clock at night, make sure your voicemail says, if this is after 9 p.m., I will return your call the next day, right? And don't answer the phone. There are no real estate emergencies. I know it can seem like that, but there are no real estate emergencies. So give yourself a day off, set yourself some guidelines. Speaking of days off, the notorious James Shaw that I just showed you where to be able to listen to him. He says that he takes 4 weeks off a year, once a quarter, for his mental health. Gary Keller, the first thing he does when he's scheduling himself out for the next year, he schedules his vacations first. He schedules family commitments. And then he schedules everything else around that. Okay. So if you take off Easter and Easter Monday, schedule it. If you take off me, for example, I want the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th off at Christmas time. That is my schedule every year. I don't care if Christmas falls on a Wednesday. I want the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th off, because the 23rd and 24th, I'm a little Christmas crazy. I like to sit back and relax with my fireplace and my kids and my dogs and listen to Christmas music and enjoy our decorations and have some peaceful time. And the day after Christmas is always the day I spend with my brother's family, and we get our families together. So those 4 days, Monica is not working. And I set that for myself every single year. Okay. So you can schedule your days off down here. Let me get that Zoom thing out of the way. And then up here in the upper right corner, you can turn it off, you can turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. So if you're going to go on vacation, like I just got back from and wish I was still on because I really had a good time, then you can add your days off down here as your vacation. So I can edit my days off, and I can say, and I do know this, in July, I'm going to go to Texas to see my family. So I will not be working this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, or this day. So I don't need to get activity reminders. I have a hard enough time stopping myself from working. I don't need something hitting my email making me think I need to be doing something. So I can go ahead and apply those changes, and I can save my changes at the bottom. And then when you get these tracking emails, I think I've already gotten rid of mine for the morning, so I'm going to do Dakota's because I have not been in his email today. Boop. Happy Friday. Let's start fresh. You're going to get an email that looks like this. Hey, Dakota Perry, how's your day going? Blah, 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 blah. Tell us about your day. You're going to click the button, and you're going to be able to enter your activities for the day. So what day are you submitting for? Did you have a good day? How many hours did you spend lead generating? How many people did you talk to? How did you find them? Maybe it was a combination of sphere of influence outreach. Maybe you did some networking. Maybe you talked to some people on Facebook Messenger and did some door knocking. Is everybody that you spoke with captured in command? Yes or no? How many appointments did you set? How many appointments did you attend? How many agreements did you get signed today? How many contracts did you write today? How many closings did you have? And any comments? This is a team one. I don't think you guys have comments as an individual agent, but that's what that would look like. And then you're going to be able to keep track of that stuff in your reporting section, right? So real estate is honestly all about the activities. If you don't do them, you don't get business. If you do them, you're going to see the results of those activities within 90 days. So I'm going to take a minute to brag on my buddy, Robert Poole in the Winston-Salem Market Center. Robert joined maybe a year now, and he just did the activities, period. He did the activities. He came to classes. He came to my classes. He participated in the classes. He took what I taught and implemented it, and not just my classes, but other classes, right? He did the things. He ran Facebook ads. He did social media posts. He called the people that he knows. He does all the things that he's supposed to be doing. And look, just listed, coming soon. 3 for a newer agent that's only in the business a year. In this market, 3 listings. Under contract, right? It gets better. He posts, boom. March 2022. Individual, top closed production, #1. He's doing the activities. And even though he has to have his transactions and show property and has his kids and his family and does all that stuff, he never stops lead generating. He never stops calling his sphere of influence. So those are the kind of results you can get, but you have to put in the work. There's no easy button in real estate. My favorite, you guys will hear more about Bold. It's an 8-week class. Well, it's technically 7 weeks, but you take a week off. You do have to pay for it, but you can get paid back for it by most market centers. And there are bold laws, which I love. You can Google them because I like to have them around me. And you know what happens a lot is I find fortune cookies feel like bold laws a lot of the time, but there is no try. Your business grows to the extent that you do. What you focus on expands. A life built by design, not default. If it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist, right? You can have reasons or you can have results, but you can't have both. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. You teach people how to treat you. What did I just say to you guys? There are things to live by. But my favorite bold law of all, because you get asked that quite a bit, especially if you're in bold, is what's your favorite bold law? No pressure, no diamonds is a good one, but that's not mine. There it is. Success is simple. It's not easy. Success is boring because activities that you have to do to be successful can be boring. And it was crazy. I do love TikTok. I was scrolling through TikTok last night and I saw a guy, I don't even know what business he was in. But he was like, most of you won't make it to the end of this video because it's boring. And the people that don't make it to the end of this video are probably not successful because successfulness is boring. It's just doing the activities day after day after day after day. It's very simple. Success is simple. We've told you what you have to do. You have to talk to people. You have to stay in front of people. What were those metrics I showed you on day one? 70+% of people only talk to one agent before they make the decision on who they're working with, both buyers and sellers. So you have to be the one, which means that you have to talk to people, right? Success is simple, but it's not easy. So I wanted to put that out there. That's why it's so important to do all of this. Track your activity, however you're going to do it. It can be on a piece of paper. It can be anywhere. You want someone to model that behavior and show you that it works. Check out Robert and a lot of other agents. I'm just picking on Robert this month because I can, because it's fun for me. And I'm super proud of his success. So that's how you set up your activity tracker. We're going to go back into settings. I'm going to show you guys some other stuff. We talked about custom tags and how you can add them. Some people, like me, can get a little bit tag happy, right? And you might go, whoa, I have made a rainbow and I need to dial it back a little bit. So if you want to get into that stuff, again, you're going to come to command settings. You're going to go to your settings drop down. You're going to come over to command settings on the left. You can go to your contacts. This is where your contact archive lives. So I think I told you guys on Monday, contacts intentionally is a double deletion process. So you don't accidentally delete something that you didn't mean to delete, right? So you can archive your contacts. Then you come back to the contact archive and take that contact that you archived and you can delete it permanently, or you can restore it back to your database. So I have a fun story. I was helping some folks back when I was a certified distressed property expert and everybody wanted to buy foreclosures, right? I drove these people out all over creation. I mean, it was ridiculous. They were looking everywhere from State Road to Yadkinville, up in Pilot Mountain, all over the place. I was like, y'all are driving me crazy for $100,000 house or something like that. They put an offer in, they didn't get it. I had advised them to make a different offer. They didn't listen and they didn't get it. And they got really mad and they told me they never wanted to see me again. And they were super ugly to me and they cussed me out. And I said, okay, I'm going to send you this release. You do not have to work with me as your buyer's agent. You have a wonderful life and I wish you all the best. They sent it back to me signed. I said, good, have fun. 2 weeks later, called me crying. We were working with this other agent and they're so mean and they don't listen to us. And will you work with us? We're sorry. It happens, right? So you might tell that person, I'm archiving your contact. I don't ever want to deal with you again. And then they might come back to you and you might need to restore them. So you get that option right here. Okay. It all happens. Real estate's crazy. People are crazy. But that's what your contact archive is about. You can even do a database wipe. And I did. When I first joined, or not when I first joined, When Command first came out, I sunk Command to my Google contacts, of which I have 6,653. But a lot of them say man who came into open house. That's the contact's actual name. Doesn't say what open house. It just says man that came into open house. So I didn't need that man that came into the open house, which I haven't had an open house for myself probably since 2014. I didn't need that contact in my Command database because I want good quality contacts in my Command database. So what I did is I came in and I archived the whole thing. I just got rid of it all and I restarted. So you can do that with database wipe. Just be aware that it's going to delete everything if you do that. You archive all the contacts at once, then you delete all the archived contacts. Again, two-step process to make sure you're doing what you really intend to do. Contact tags. This is where you can come in and you can clean all these contact tags up. If you think, okay, I don't want the tag 2020 CB 1 through 3, right? The first thing you have to do is bulk remove that tag from anybody who has it. And once you've done that, you can delete it from the system. If you don't take it off of the people, you're going to get this message. This data will completely be removed from the system, but the tag is linked to a contact and it can't be deleted, right? So I need to go back into my contacts, 2020 CB 1 through 3. I need to go back in here to my contacts. It's going to take forever, probably. And I'm going to use my filter. And I'm going to look for my tag 2020 CB 1 through 3 and apply it. And the folks that have it are going to show up. It's in my team account. That's why it's not showing up over here. I got to switch. But it's going to show you who it is. And then you're going to be able to delete them or remove the tag and then take it off. Right. So that's what you have to do there, and you can bulk remove tags, and I'll show you that so you can see it. Pull up a tag that I know I have a bunch of people on. I'll go to my filters. I don't want to be in my team account. Bear with me. Now I'm going to go to my filters, and I can look up like my KW1 folks. So you can see I have 386 people with that tag. I can show right now, I'm showing 1 through 50 of 386. I can change this to up to 500 contacts. When you're working with 500 contacts at a time, it is going to be slow to load. It's not broken. It's just a lot of data. So I could select all 386 and take the bulk action to remove the tag KW1. I'm not going to actually do it, but I would just select what I wanted to remove and click remove selected. So if you're doing a tag cleanup, that's how that would work. Get that question quite a bit, so I always like to touch on that. Going back to settings. So you could also set up your tags from there. If you decided, you know, I know exactly how I want to tag, and there are people that have shared that kind of stuff with you. Again, if you are in the Google Drive under Keller Williams, you can see I'm in my Keller Williams Google Drive, right? For number one, we have unlimited storage in our Keller Williams Google Drive, which is great, right? Number two, nice people like to share stuff. So if you're like tags, okay, then look, Andrew Morrison, Ben May, like people have shared their tags and their tagging system. So some people did like who in white, referral, how'd you get it in teal, location in yellow, their DTD2 tagging is purple, the partner name, actions, income, and temporary use tags. So if you want to set up tags based on some kind of a system, you can go into Google Drive, you can search in Facebook groups, and people have shared how they have set up their tags. So you could choose that as an option. That's your contact tags. You can add lead sources. You saw when I was adding lead sources on Monday, baseball was one of them. That's because I get a lot of people from baseball. because we've been doing it for 13 years, right? Last night was senior night. Thank gosh, my son is only a junior because I thought I was going to die crying last night because it was so sad to see the seniors leave. But so you can add lead sources, you know, if you do some specific kind of networking, you can add lead sources for yourself. You can also adjust those custom fields I showed you that I like so much. So I have 20 custom fields. Favorites. This is how you build relationships. What are their pets' names? What are their NFL team, their favorite NFL team, their high school? What's their favorite wine, favorite restaurant, favorite music, right? So you can have conversations around those things. I remember how much you love 311. Did you know that they are coming this summer to Charlotte, right? Something like that. Opportunity settings. This is where those client update settings are. You can edit your opportunity tags. If you archived an opportunity like I would have done for those people that drove me all over, you could come back and restore it from here, right? Maybe your buyer went and did something like buy a car right in the middle of buying a house. That happens surprisingly, but it does. And they're like, yeah, can't buy anymore. You might have archived them, but maybe they worked for 6 months and got that fixed, and you're going to unarchive them and reinstate it. Then you can. If you're on a team, you can access your team permissions. You can set up recurring deductions. So KW cares, KW kids can. If you want to give to them, then you can set up $10, $50, $100 to come out of, or whatever amount you want to come out of each one of your sales, so that you don't have to make that decision at the time. If you just have decided I'm going to do this year, then you can set it up back here. Okay. You can also give towards bold scholarships. Some people that can't afford to do bold because they're just getting started, you can also give towards bold scholarships. You can access that reporting activity tracking. We looked at that, and you can even see your logs of imports and exports. Okay. Connect settings is where we got to that marketing profile. So remember, make sure that you keep it updated. Let me collapse some of that. Connect settings, marketing profile. This is where you can update your headshot. This is where if you decided to use a Google voice number instead of your cell phone number, you can go and change it. It will change it on your website. It will change it on your app. If you develop a logo for yourself as an agent, you can come and upload it here. If you decide to update your biography, if you were in the military, please make that known. Even if you're a military spouse, make it known. Okay. So if you are a broker, full broker like me, maybe you were provisional, which meant you had to have the office's phone number on everything that you did, and you graduated out of that, then you could change it to your cell phone number at that point. Because I am not good with office phone numbers or voicemails. I'm very honest with myself about those types of things. So I like to just have my cell phone number on everything. But if you need to update any of this stuff, this is where you come to do it. So again, drop down, go to settings, come to left, connect settings, marketing profile. That's where you can update that stuff. Command MC settings you won't have and you won't have to worry about. That's all the settings. Any questions on settings? And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is the marketplace. Check chat. How do I delete a team from a previous market center? Jamie, you will have to get with the market center administrator from that previous market center. One of the problems could be let me get back in here. So this is my fake team that I actually have set up. You see how there's opportunities alive in here. If you have it, if they already deleted the team, and I don't know if you were the rainmaker or you were a team member, but if you have any open opportunities, that team will not delete until they're closed or archived or gone. So get with me separately and let's find out where your previous market center is and all that kind of stuff. And we'll try to get that worked on for you. Any other questions about settings? Good. All right, marketplace. So if you decide you want to try out Twilio, you can come to the marketplace to do so. Okay. Twilio is that mass texting platform, and the lowest cost is $3.16 a month. You can see it here. The extra small package is up to 300 Twilio credits a month. A plain text message is 1 credit up to, I think, 160 characters. If you go above 160 characters, it's 2 credits. If you go above whatever the next number is, 280 or something, it's 3 credits. If it has an image or something in it, it's always going to be 3 credits because then it's considered a multimedia message. And you can set up call forwarding so that if somebody calls your Twilio number, it will make your phone ring and it will say you have an incoming call from Twilio when you answer the phone, so that you know it will be taking your credits if you're accepting that call that way. As you can see, I have way too many credits. You can adjust it up and down as you wish. It's like an old school cell phone with minutes, and you had the rollover minutes. For a lot of y'all might be too young to remember that. I remember that. But it does roll over, right? But if you find out that you just have a crazy amount of credits left over, you can change your plan and make it smaller. So just keep that in mind. So Twilio is in here. You can read all about that, but there's all kinds of stuff in here. So remember, I've already told you, it is not my job to sell this program to you. It's not my job to sell Command to you. And I would never pressure or push somebody to use it if they like you. I have agents that love using Lion's Desk. I have agents that love using Sync and Brevity. Good. That's fine, right? We're all independent contractors. We can do what we want. We are going to be getting some more integrations back here. So if you find out that Command doesn't do everything that you want it to do, and you want to use Market Leader, then you can come in here and you can buy Market Leader for $139 a month. And there is an integration to Command, so that anything that comes in a Market Leader comes into Command, and there's all these different kinds of things that you can set up. If you use some other program and you want all of that data to flow into Command, we have a program called API Nation. It is in its infancy stage, but I have it set up for Google because I wanted to try it, and it seems to work. So if I add a contact to my phone under my Google profile, that contact gets added into Command. I think that's $10 a month. But there's all kinds of stuff in here that you can look at. And these are people that have been KW approved for connections. And like I said, Command Mail, you get 5,000 free a month. If you send a lot more email than that, you might want to bump your subscription up. But there's all kinds of stuff in here that you can look at. There's training that you can pay for. There are professional services. There's some leads programs available. There's a lot of stuff in here. So if you are interested in stuff that, you know, I've already said it, lead with revenue. If you don't have money yet that you're making, don't spend money yet. And if you want to check it out, right? So totally up to you. But I'd just like to make sure that you know that it's there. But there are some Command trainings. These are done on a national level that you can come in here. Some of them are free, some of them are not. And then you have a list of approved vendors that can do different stuff for you back here. So explore around, see what you like. We'll get more and more of this each year. So definitely check that out. Also keep in mind, we do get some discounts as Keller Williams agents. I know I get a discount with T-Mobile, and I used to get a discount with Verizon for being a KW agent. For those types of discounts, you do have to have access to that KW email. So the last and final thing I'm going to show before I open it up for questions, it doesn't matter if you use your KW email regularly, but sometimes, like if you want to be part of Keller Offers, or if you want to be a part of Keller Williams New Construction, New Homes Division, or the Luxury Division, or any of those kind of things, you more than likely are going to at least need access to your KW email. So I want to show you guys how to do that. Your KW email is nothing more than a Google account. Okay. So when Scott Leroy Marketing set up your stuff for you, he set you up a Google account. Okay. So my original OG Google account is Monica Perry Realtor WSNC@gmail.com. Right. That's what I used when I was at Remax. That's what I used when I was at Weichert. Okay. So if you have a Gmail and your system's going to look like mine, you're going to be in your Gmail and you're going to come up here in the upper right corner and you're going to come down here and click add another account. No, I don't have multiple personality disorders. I just have a lot of email. But you're going to click add another account and you're going to log in with those credentials in your Scott Leroy Marketing email. You won't see this crazy list. You'll click use another account and you will enter that email. Like mine's monicaperry@kw.com. Okay. If you forget what that is for right now, this is the way to get there. There's another website. Again, the old technology still straddling with the new, that is mykw.kw.com. You don't have to go into it very much, but for right now, if you need to get in and reset your email password for KW, then you can go to mykw.kw.com. Eventually, all of these pieces will get integrated into Command and Connect. A lot of the pieces already are integrated into Connect, but this part is not. So when I'm here, if I hover over technology at the top on the black bar, I can come down to my KW email. When I click on that, it's going to show me KW Google Apps for Business email. You don't need to sign up. You need to manage your KW email. And it's going to show you currently have this email address. If you have any forwarding set up, then it'll show you right here. It shows you what your email address is right here, and you can just change the password. So since you're logged into Command, you will also be logged into mykw.kw.com. It's the same credentials. And you can just set your new password and set double, you have to double set it. And then you can go to that Gmail and add an account, pick your KW email, and log in with that new password. You also set a recovery email down here. You can see mine is my original Gmail account. So if I forget my password, I can have it come to that old one. But sometimes you have to have your KW email to open something like a Google Doc that gets shared with you in a national class. They might have it protected to where only KW can see it. So I've had a lot of agents go, I don't even use my KW email. And I got this thing from KW New Homes and I don't know how to get to it. This is how you get to it. So I always try to touch on stuff I get questions about. And that, my friends, is it. That is all we are going to go over. Does anybody have any questions? Anything I didn't show you that you were hoping to see? Anything at all?
Monica,
Mhm.
when you change your password,
Mhm.
when I was set up, my password is the same, for all these different programs I go into. If you're changing your password on the screen that you're showing there, is that just for your email or is that for, okay, so I would still use the old password. Okay.
It's just your email. There is
Another quick question. If you're uploading documents for a transaction, like a new listing, who's getting those documents? Who is actually looking for the, compliance?
So in the Winston-Salem Market Center, Amanda Shore is checking compliance. Each
Okay.
market center has their own person.
Okay. And when I went to upload last night, I was not able to upload in the slot beside of the document that's required. It was listing everything as an other, but it said it uploaded. So I'm assuming I'm okay.
So when you're in your doc, did you scan them or did you get them at did you save them to your computer?
They were saved in my transaction room and I was pulling them from my transaction room. The
Okay.
signed ones were saved.
Okay. So it should have, the reason might have been, let me find something that I have documents for. So if you're attaching files from DocuSign,
Yes.
let me delete something. Let me just get one of my recent ones.
Trying to pull mine up too.
There. Okay. So if you're trying to attach the files from DocuSign right here, you have to pick the working folder. And so then you should be able to click this drop down and pick the correct document.
Well, I was picking it, but it was adding it as an other down below. It wouldn't,
Huh.
I couldn't get it to go into the box that it was beside of. And at first I couldn't get anything to pop up from select. And then I started being able to select, but it was putting everything in an other. Now I may just, it's the first time I've uploaded them. So who knows what I did, but I just didn't know if I needed to try to move them because it says it's already uploaded.
Yeah.
So I can't really move it.
Like where it goes. So like your offer to purchase needs to be next to your offer to purchase checklist item.
Yeah. Besides just down below.
Yeah. Not down below, needs to be next to it. So if you want to hang out, Mary, just after we finish recording, I'll take a look at it. You can share your screen with me and show me.
Okay. I'm going to pull it up. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Any other questions? I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know it's a lot. It's a big week. We go over a lot. And again, it's only my intention to show you everything that you can do. It doesn't mean that you have to do it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you. And if you need to come back next month, I will be here. And if you're watching us on YouTube land, thanks for watching. And I will put all your resources in the description boxes of YouTube below. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.